Something shifted in how the avoidant perceives the dynamic. Where once they saw pursuit and need, they now see something far more compelling: stability. This person is no longer chasing, no longer desperate for their attention, no longer organizing their entire emotional world around the avoidant's inconsistent presence. Instead, they radiate a groundedness that the avoidant finds both fascinating and deeply attractive. This shift is not about playing games or employing strategy. It is about genuine self-possession, and the avoidant's nervous system recognizes it as exactly what they have been seeking their entire life without knowing how to name it. Subscribe to understand why your stability triggers their attraction more than your pursuit ever could. This insight protects you from old patterns. The paradox of attraction through non-pursuit. The avoidant spent years running from connection because connection felt like consumption. Every person who wanted them seemed to want something from them. Emotional availability they could not provide, consistency they could not maintain, vulnerability they could not access. This created a pattern where desire felt like danger and intimacy felt like imprisonment. But stability operates on entirely different principles. A stable person does not need the avoidant to complete them. They do not require constant reassurance. They do not collapse when the avoidant withdraws. They exist as a separate, whole entity who can connect without consuming. This is profoundly attractive to the avoidant because it offers something they believed was impossible: the experience of being wanted without being needed. Stability suggests that connection can exist without dependence, that closeness does not have to mean loss of self, that intimacy can be chosen rather than demanded. The avoidant finds themselves drawn to this person precisely because the pressure they always feared is absent. There is space to breathe. There is freedom to move closer without the terror of being trapped. The stability is not indifference, but rather secure attachment in action, and the avoidance system recognizes it as the safe harbor they have been searching for. The recognition of what they actually need. Attraction to stability reveals something the avoidant rarely admits. They do not actually want to be alone. They want to be safe. And stability provides safety in ways that pursuit never could. When someone is stable, the avoidant does not have to worry about their withdrawal causing complete devastation. They do not have to manage someone else's emotions while suppressing their own. They do not have to feel responsible for another person's well-being. This removes the heaviest burden the avoidant carries in relationships: the fear that their inability to consistently show up will destroy someone they care about. With a stable person, the avoidant can be imperfect without catastrophic consequences. They can have bad days without it triggering abandonment anxiety in their partner. They can need space without it being interpreted as rejection. This creates a relational environment where the avoidance nervous system can finally begin to relax. The stability is not just attractive, it is healing. It demonstrates through consistent behavior that connection does not have to equal obligation, that someone can care without clinging, that love can exist without losing oneself. The avoidant finds themselves wanting to be closer to this stability, wanting to learn from it, wanting to experience the groundedness that they see reflected in someone who has done the work to become secure within themselves. The dangerous temptation to test it. The avoidance attraction to stability inevitably leads to a testing phase. They cannot fully trust that this stability is real without pushing against it to see if it holds. They may withdraw to see if the person panics. They may create distance to check if the stability was genuine or performance. They may behave in ways designed to trigger insecurity or pursuit just to confirm that this person truly is different. This testing is not malicious, but rather a protective mechanism. The avoidant has been burned before by people who seemed stable initially, but became anxious or demanding once the relationship deepened. They need to know that this stability is sustainable under pressure, that it will not dissolve the moment they show their true patterns. The crucial factor is whether the stable person maintains their groundedness during this testing phase. If they remain consistent, if they hold their boundaries without becoming cold, if they can weather the avoidance uncertainty without trying to fix or control it, the attraction deepens exponentially. The avoidant begins to trust that maybe, finally, they have found someone who can handle their complexity without falling apart. But if the stability cracks, if the person reverts to pursuit or anxiety, the avoidant will retreat permanently, convinced once again that genuine secure connection is impossible and they are safer alone.